we talk about a lot of wins on this show, but we rarely talk about mistakes that we've made. So I wanted to break down kind of what's going on currently with my condo sale.
This one guy, like this is a classic for all your men out there, or not even just men, just people that don't feel like some people just don't listen. This is a good one.
No.
Yes,
not.
it is. Yes, it is. I go, I don't think you should do that.
So this is what happened. And it's going to work out, but this is what happened. So I've learned a lot.
We'll see.
I am currently selling my condo off market to somebody that I know, somebody that they know, right? So basically, like the other realtor, I know her very well, and this is someone that is related to her. And so they wanted to buy it. I gave them a good deal because it's off market. I don't have to mess with it. I literally, I want to 1031 it, right? So he's getting a traditional loan. We're 2 weeks in. I go find another place.
Let's explain what a 1031 is, because I
Okay.
think that's what it is. 1031 means that she can take all the proceeds and invest it in something else without paying tax. Has to be at or more what she's selling for. So, and by the way, this is a strategy that for those of you may know what that is, but I just figured it's worth mentioning. So,
Yep.
So Danielle is trying to avoid tax, and therefore, okay, keep going.
So, so I went and I found a great 1031. So I put an offer on this place. I'm supposed to close in like a month. Got a great deal on that one.
Well, first of all, let's back up one because I'm going to throw a curveball at you because you came to me with a deal before that.
I did. Yep.
And we got into a little bit of an argument.
Mm-hmm.
I go, I don't think you should buy that. And she, of course, was emotionally invested because of the tax.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
I felt rushed.
So I put my foot down and said, listen, you go ahead, but this is not a good area. And I think you can buy something and get more rent somewhere else. And she went to bed really upset at me, but she woke up fine.
Yep. I thought about it
Yeah.
and I was like, you're right. So because when you're doing a 1031, it's stressful because you have 45 days from the closing of one property to identify the one you want to buy. Now you can identify up to 3, but you have to basically pick the ones you want to buy. And if that doesn't work out, then you have to pay the tax, which is a high tax burden.
Right. And
so
I think
there's
that's
stress.
Worth mentioning. That's worth mentioning. And that's why I wanted to bring that one up, because she felt the tax burden rushing the next decision.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys all have felt that way before, but it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's honest, and it's exactly what was happening with you.
Yep. Absolutely. And so then, I listened to Ken. I was like, you're right. This deal, while it works financially because I have all this money rolling over, it's not a great investment. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to, relax on the sidelines, like wait till this deal closes, but I'm still going to look. Well, then this one pops up, super underpriced, much better return on investment, like 33% more of a return than this other property.
Way better
for
location.
like, 70 grand more, right? So way better location. So I'm like, okay, so I make this offer the day it lists because, you have to do that. Multiple offers, I get it. Okay. So I'm like, great. So I do the inspection. Everything's going well. The guy messages me on my condo and he says, hey, I want to do some upgrades to this. Do you mind if I start these while
I'm like, no,
before we close?
Don't
and I'm
do
like,
it.
sure. Why not?
Yeah,
because
Danielle's
in my
like-
mind, I'm like, okay, he's obviously going to close. It closes in 10 days. I know the realtor representing him, like she's vouching for him. And, why wouldn't I want to make someone's life easier?
Here's what I'm thinking. Hey, I'm going to rip apart your kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't own the place yet.
Yeah.
You do, but I'm going to rip apart your kitchen. Is that okay?
Yeah. And so
She's like, no problem.
So I said, sure. So then I'm like, okay, so everything's going well, whatever. So that was probably on a Friday. So let's call it the next Friday. I get a text where he's like, so I don't want to close on the deal.
And of course, guys, meltdown time.
I did.
It was pretty darn close to a
not
meltdown. Babe, melt.
So I
down.
drove.
It's 2 words.
So I drove down to my condo, which I hadn't been to for a long time. And I'm looking around. And honestly, the work was like 75% done. Like,
Okay.
honestly.
What
like
if it was What if it was just demolished?
Well, that would have been bad.
Then it would have been meltdown 2.0.
So yeah, that would have been bad if it was just demolished. It was like 75% done, and it looked good. You know,
The guy actually, you're lucky that they painted the place and done the cabinets and
they
the
painted
floors.
the place. They
Yeah.
painted the
So
cabinets. They put in new baseboards. They took down the popcorn ceiling.
Yep. They did some work and it actually looked okay. But the chance of that happening, that was luck.
I know. It was luck, and it was a lesson that I learned. But so anyway, so he says to me, you know, what I want you to do is pay me for the work I did. I'm going to finish the work and then pay me for the work I did.
And I want my deposit
And
back.
I want my deposit back. And then you can sell it now for more because I've redone it. And then so when you sell it, you can just pay me. When I sell it, you can just pay me.
So Danielle says yes.
No, I didn't say yes. I said, let me think about it. Because mind you, I'm blindsided, okay? So I have no time to think.
She came home and I'm like, wait a second.
Well, so
now let me just get this straight. You're giving him his money back and he's ripped up your place and it's 75% done. How does that benefit you at all? Plus, what about your 1031?
correct. So I slept on, so I did the math because I did not tell him yes. I told him, let me think about it because I was fully overwhelmed. So I started to think about it and I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense for me because right now I have a tax issue. But he said, baking that in, I was still going to make money. I'm like, but if I sell it for more, I have an even bigger tax issue. And now I'm going through all this work to just try to make the low amount that I was selling it to you for to keep it easy for myself, right? So I'm like, I'm like in this whole thing. So what I agreed with him is I was like, listen, if you finish the work, I will give you your deposit back. I'm not signing anything until you finish the work. So he was like, fine. So he agreed because I think we have this mutual connection. So he agreed to finish the work. And actually they did finish the work yesterday. So, because it really was not, it was almost done. So they finished the work yesterday. Mind you, I now have my other purchase that I don't want to let go, but now I don't have as much money to put down on it. So now I'm trying to work with the lender to kind of figure all that out. So there's all this cluster going on. So then he comes back to me last night.
How do you reduce cluster? Don't do that.
Don't do that. So then he comes back to me last night, and now he might still want to go through with the sale, which he hasn't signed to cancel the loan. So there's nothing I can do at this point either way. But I'm like, okay, well, if you want to.
But he did notify title.
He notified title, but he didn't notify his lender.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so.
We will see.
So we are going to TBD on this. But the things that I have learned are a couple things. One, obviously.
Listen to Ken.
Do not let anyone start tearing up anything they haven't closed on, even if you know that. Like, I never would have done this if it was some random person buying it, okay? It's because it was a relative of somebody I knew.
They're all random people buying it.
Correct. They're all random people buying it is what I learned. But then secondly, when you go to make an offer on the new property, you probably shouldn't do that until the old one is closed.